everywhere you look, people are saying you got to get more protein. Protein is super important. Make sure you're eating your protein, right? Especially if you're a woman over 30. All right. So why is this coming up everywhere? And then how much protein is enough? And how do we get more protein? Like, what does that even mean? Am I supposed to just have a plate of meat? Am I now a carnivore? What the heck is going on? First, I'm going to share with you why getting more protein is important. And then we're going to talk about 3 ways to get you more protein in your diet. All right, so stick with me. Let's go. All right, hey, so I'm Ileka Falette, mom of 4, and about 8 years ago, I lost 120 pounds, kept it off, and then helped thousands of women do the exact same thing, right? I'm no longer a weight loss coach, but I do have a cool little membership that you can go ahead and check out. It's a really low cost because I want to ensure that everyone gets the opportunity to live their healthiest life. All right, so let's get into it. You are here because you want to hear about why protein is important and how you can get more protein in your diet, because this is what you hear about constantly. I mean, everywhere we turn, right? Whether we turn on the TV and we're watching the news, people are talking about how protein is important. And it's like, this feels pretty new. Like, it seems like it just came up, right? Before, everyone's talking low carb, low calories, and really talking about just how to, live a healthy lifestyle and all these things, right? But but this new focus around protein, or this focus around protein, feels relatively new, right? And when I say new, I mean the last 4 years, right? That's new to me, right? I don't know any songs before or after 2007, so 4 years is new to me. Anyway, so let's talk about why protein is important. First of all, if you've ever watched any of my videos, I've been on YouTube for a while, and I've been talking about focusing on protein for quite some time. The reason is because there's been studies done, and you can Google this, right? After the age of 30 years old. I focus on women only, right? So let me just highlight that, right? So if you're a guy, mind your business. No, I'm just kidding. But I focus on women when it comes to health and wellness, and I focus on my own journey, and I talk about that. So that's what I share on here. So for women over the age of 30, right, we are losing an average of 1 to 3% of muscle mass every year. So if you are 60 years old, you've been losing muscle mass for the last 30 years. And so one of the things that we focus on this channel is how do we maintain that muscle mass and sustain that muscle mass so that we're not losing it, but potentially either gaining it, right? Or at least keeping it. And so that's what we're going to be talking about in this video, right? In terms of protein, why protein is important. So the reason protein is important is because it's one of the things that helps to sustain the muscle mass. It helps to feed the muscle mass. Muscle mass is important because if we don't have it, right, muscle protects our bones. So when you have stronger muscle mass or greater muscle mass, you actually are less likely to fall and break a leg or break an ankle or crack a bone, right? Because your muscle is actually strengthening and supporting your bones, right? So that's one of the things, right? Another reason is muscle actually burns fat, helps to burn fat faster. When we have more muscle mass, we're less likely to gain more weight after, let's say that you fall off your diet bad, right? Let's say that all of a sudden you go on a cruise and you are eating everything, right? You could come back and be 20 pounds heavier, right? I've done it. So you can come back and be 20 pounds heavier. But if you have more muscle mass, number one, that 20 pounds will drop off really fast. But number two, you likely won't gain 20 pounds. You might gain 5. Right? And then that 5 pounds will drop off really fast because you got the muscle that's burning the fat. Many times when someone falls off of their healthy lifestyle, right, and they have a good amount of muscle mass, what happens is they actually don't gain weight as fast as someone who is just skinny fat. And we all know those skinny fat people, right? It's not a whole ton of muscle mass, just they're just skinny, which is, they may love that and they may feel like it looks good, but in terms of our health, It's not the healthiest for us. We are more healthy when our muscle is where it needs to be, right? So that's why protein is super important. That's why we're talking about that in this video. So let's talk about, so we talked about why protein is important, right? It helps to sustain our muscle mass. So that's super important, right? Protein also helps to keep you full. So if you're looking to lose weight or, feel better, have more energy, all things, or just not eat so much, protein is super helpful. And I'm going to share with you how to get more protein in your diet, and also that will help you essentially sustain your eating in the way that you want to go, right? And this is even when you're not dieting or at a calorie restriction or whatever. Even as you're living your healthy lifestyle, getting a sufficient amount of protein in actually really helps to sustain a healthy lifestyle, right? So we're going to talk about all that in this video. So stick with me for the next 10 minutes because I'm going to go pretty fast, but I'm going to give a lot, all right? So here are 3 things you get to do to get more protein in your diet and to sustain, that's going to help to lose weight and or sustain the weight that you've already lost, all right? Because when we stay higher in protein, and I don't mean you have to eat like the amount of protein that a bodybuilder is eating, but getting a sufficient amount of protein for your body is going to help you sustain your health benefits, your weight loss, your muscle mass, your fat burning, right? Your fat loss, all of that, right? It's really, really crucial. All right, so the first tip that I have for helping to get more protein in is in every meal that you have, ensure that you have a protein in it and eat that protein first, right? So let me give an example. Let's say for breakfast, you decide to have oatmeal and eggs and bacon, right? Or eggs, bacon, and grits, right? Let's just say that. So what you want to do is you want to eat your eggs and your bacon first so that it's helping to satiate you. And then when you have your grits, you may not finish all the grits. The grits is actually the least nutritious part of the meal, to be honest. So, or oatmeal or whatever, right? So you're not eating all of that. You may eat less of it because you're already kind of full from the eggs and the bacon. When you do that, you're ensuring that you're getting your protein in. So let's say you decided that you were going to eat your grits first, right? Or your oatmeal first. Now you've eaten this half a cup of oatmeal, and then you may not finish the eggs and bacon because you're kind of full. But when you eat your eggs and bacon first, you essentially you've prioritized protein and you've gotten that in first. And that's just breakfast, right? You actually could do that in every meal. So when I eat dinner, usually when I eat my dinner, my meals are usually packed with protein. So I might have, let's say, ground turkey with some lettuce and maybe a side of rice if I'm doing rice that day, right? In that meal, I'm always going to be eating that turkey first, maybe a little bit of salad, and then I'll save the rice for last. I'm saving that thing that isn't necessarily filling me up, right? Because the protein's filling, right? So the thing that's not filling me up and the thing that's also not going to give me as much nutrients. So the protein's going to give me what I need. So I'm going to eat that first and then I'll eat the rest. Or at least I'm going to eat most of that first. Because what I don't want to leave on the table, and actually I say the same thing to my kids, we don't leave our protein on the table. You can, you don't have to eat your whole meal, but you're going to get your protein in because it's super important. It's what helps to sustain our muscles. It's what keeps our body strong and healthy and fit and all those things, right? So we want to make sure, I know when we were kids, we were always told to eat your vegetables, eat your vegetables, eat your vegetables. And vegetables are still important, but protein kind of trumps, right? And that's in terms of a healthy lifestyle for staying full, like I said, and also in terms of keeping your muscles strong and being able to protect your muscle mass and your bones, right? So eating your protein first, super important. And it's a really good tip for eating a healthy diet because when you eat your protein first, if you don't finish your meal, it doesn't matter, right? And always save the sweetest thing for last, of course, right? So meaning like if you're gonna eat a whole meal and then be like, let's say you have, let's say you have chicken and broccoli and rice, and then you might have a side of like, brownie or something, right? Maybe that's a day when you guys brought in dessert, right? Somebody's made a brownies or pie or something like that, right? And you got your pie there and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna get these chicken wings down and then eat the broccoli, and then whatever I have left over, if I'm still hungry, now everything else is just a taste, right? I'll eat some of the rice and I'll taste the pie, the sweet potato pie or whatever, right? I don't have to eat all of it because I know that I'm not eating it because I'm hungry. I'm just eating it because I want to taste it. And so I tasted it, I'm good. I can pass the rest off to somebody else, you know? And that's how we get to look at it, right? That's how we get that healthy lifestyle, and that's how we're getting more protein in. So let's go to number 2. So the second way to get more protein in, and I actually did this in another video recently, where I talked about like 3 types of protein, or 3 ways to get in protein, right? And I talked about protein shakes as an option. So using protein shakes is a really simple option for getting more protein in without adding extra fat or adding extra carbs, especially if you get a low carb protein. So I do, and I showed in that video, I actually use a vegan protein, which is almost no sugar, right? And it's made with pea protein and other greens. I do a beef protein, which is just beef and some stevia and some cocoa powder, right? So it gives me, and it's again, almost no fat, no sugar, and no carbs, right? So it's really, really low, or very low, right? Like 1 or 2, but it's giving me a good amount of protein, like 20 grams or more of protein. And then the third one is another beef protein, because I don't really do whey protein because it doesn't sit well on my stomach. Neither does any sort of dairy. So I do the beef protein, or I do the vegan protein. Sometimes I mix it together. But my point is that when you're doing like adding in a protein shake to your day, if you're trying to get in, let's say 120 grams of protein, and you have a protein shake that's going to give you a good 30, now all you have to do is get 90 grams of protein in the rest of the day. 90 grams of protein, you know what that looks like, right? That looks like a piece of chicken with every meal, or piece of chicken, or eggs and bacon with breakfast, lunch having a piece of chicken, dinner having a steak. You've gotten in, actually probably gotten more than 90 grams, or dinner having a piece of salmon. You've gotten in more than 90 grams of protein. So it's just, it makes it a little easier when you've gotten the 30 out of the way with having that protein shake. And if you like whey protein, there's always some great options. I actually put some in the description of this video where you can do like a simple whey protein, or if you're like me, no dairy, one of the beef proteins or the vegan proteins. Like, you can really get it in through a simple shake. And it could be right after your workout, you drink that shake, or it could just be a snack during the day. Like, you know what, feel a little hungry, guess what fills you up? Protein. You know, so take that protein powder, throw it in some unsweetened almond milk. If you want it a little thicker, you could add like an avocado to it, or if you eat bananas, you could add that to it. Whatever you want to add to it to thicken it up, and you drink that protein shake and you're good, right? The protein shake could even be, for some, dessert. You know, dessert after breakfast, or after lunch, or dessert after dinner. Like, a lot of people do protein shakes in different ways, but adding that protein shake is adding another 30 grams of protein in. So if you need 120 for the day, 120 grams of protein, boom, right there you've got 30, and the rest is just simple, right? You're just adding protein in every meal. All set. All right, so that is a second easy way to get more protein into your day. All right, so let's go to number 3. Third way to get more protein into your day actually kind of leans into the second, which is using protein as a snack. So right now, a lot of folks will do different types of snacks, right? You might do, sometimes folks will have popcorn if you're not doing keto or anything like that, let's say, or you'll have vegetables. You might do some celery or some carrots, or, you know, or an apple, fruit for snack, right? And that's normal. That's what we've been told to eat our whole lives, right? It's not going to help you get more protein in. So what you could do is, if you are a dairy eater, you could do like a high protein yogurt. So something that my son does, you know, like a couple times a week is he'll get a little bit of high protein yogurt. And I used to do this a lot, but then it started messing with my stomach a little bit because dairy doesn't work well for me. But he'll do a little high protein yogurt, a serving size, I think it's like 6 ounces or something. Add in some high protein like granola, right? No sugar, or little to no sugar in it. It's always gluten-free because that's what we do in this house. Add a little bit of that, and then add some raspberries in there. mix it up, and now he's getting protein in, and it's a good filling snack, right? So there's something like that. Another one I used to do all the time is get a high protein yogurt, add a little bit of peanut butter in there. That's some additional protein. And for me, you know me and my chocolate love. I'd add a few sprinkles of like Lily's chocolate chips, which is the no sugar added chocolate chips, made with like monk fruit or whatever. I'd add those in there, mix it up, and I'm tearing that stuff up, right? So just easy ways to get protein in as a snack. Because if you are getting that protein in as a snack, or you could do a protein shake as a snack, but either way, you're getting somewhere between 20 and 30 grams of protein in as a snack. It's helping to keep you full, and you're getting that extra protein that your body needs to sustain your muscle mass, right? And remember, protein's super important whether you are at a calorie deficit trying to lose weight or whether you are just maintaining a healthy lifestyle, right? Protein is super important along this path. So you want to ensure that you're getting that extra protein in. So 3 simple ways to get that extra protein in. 1, eat your protein first. If you're getting in your protein first, you know that you're getting it in, and then it's also keeping you fuller for the rest of the meal, right? That's also kind of a diet tip, to be honest, and a healthy lifestyle long-term tip. 2 is incorporating a protein shake into your daily regimen, right? If you're gonna work out, you might as well have a protein shake. It's gonna help to sustain any of the breakdown of the muscle when you're lifting weights. So you got that, right? And then also it's gonna get you full, and it's gonna help you to ensure that you got your protein in. It's gonna subtract from that number, right? If you're looking for 120, it's taking at least 30 off. Now you got 90 for the rest of the day. And then number 3 is making protein your snack. You can do that through a high protein yogurt. You can do that through having a protein shake. You can do it through adding some cheese in, or for me, I used to just have, I sometimes eat shrimp as a snack, right? So I'll eat shrimp the way others eat popcorn. I'll take some shrimp. I'll put a little bit of salt on there, a little butter on there, throw it in the microwave or throw it on the stove, right? If I have a little time, and literally done. And I'll eat it like it's a snack, right? That's like 30 grams protein. So you get to get it in. So comment below, let me know how you're adding more protein into your diet. And also be sure to subscribe to this channel and check out our Fit Mommy Makeover community. It's for women only, and it's about getting healthy together. All right. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.
Don't forget to subscribe. Be sure to watch my mom's next video.